Hello, my name is Hector Velasquez, and welcome to another episode of GCSAA Inside the Shop. Now, one thing we really don't think about much when we jump into a machine like this is how easy the steering is. How does that work? Well, let's get inside the shop and we can show you how. Okay, the steering control unit. This is what's responsible for our right turns and left turn on this big equipment and how smooth it is, right? To make those turns on these big pieces of equipment. Now, let's go ahead and get into it so we can understand exactly what's happening inside this thing.
Okay, so the steering control unit has two main functions. One is to direct the flow whether you're turning right or left, but then also controls the quantity of the oil while you're making that turn. So it determines how fast you're going to make that turn. Let's look at some of the components that make up the SCU. We have a spool, sleeve, georotor, drive shaft, centering spring, pin, spacer, or sometimes referred to as the wear plate, and then we have the housing. Now, the housing is where a lot of the hoses are connected to. As you can see here, they're also labeled. You have T where it goes to the tank, R is for the right turn, L is for the left turn, and so forth. And you also have a pressure relief valve in there and the end feed. Now, while the machine is just sitting there, it's in neutral. Now, as you start giving it input, you're going to start turning the spool, which in turn is going to start turning the sleeve because of the pin that it's connected to. And that's going to redirect the flow of hydraulic fluid through the housing of the unit. Now, how fast you make that turn will determine how much oil goes through there. Once you stop turning, it is the centering spring's responsibility to bring the spool and the sleeve back into the neutral position. Now, while all of this is happening, the georotor has an interesting job. It acts like a power steering or a steering assist, if you will. As hydraulic oil is flowing through there, it's going to make that turn a lot easier and smoother. But it could also act as a pump and pumping oil through the system. And it's this little unit that makes steering these big equipment possible. Absolutely amazing, I think.
Well, as you can see, understanding how the steering control unit works, it's really not that bad. Absolutely, actually, is a pretty genius piece of equipment. Now, I want to thank you for joining us here today on GCSAA Inside the Shop, where we're steering technicians, one wrench at a time. You see what I did there? You see that?